Good day, good day, good day, good day, good day, good day, good day. Good day, good day, good day, good day, good day. How you doing? How you doing? How everybody doing today? Normally I'm a little bit behind. I'm a little bit behind. Thank you for joining me for the Brian Glaze Gibbs Cigar Chat Live. I think what I want to talk about, who's the worst enemy? The worst enemy that anybody can fight is the enemy from within. That is the worst enemy that you can fight. Because once again, right now, the worst thing you can do is fight against yourself. How do you really know that you're really fighting against yourself? Do you really understand that you're fighting against yourself? Because right now, you got to understand who's the enemy, who's the real enemy, who's the individual that can hold you back the most. Leonard Bell, what's up, man? You know, the worst enemy that you can fight is the enemy from within. And you know what? Whether you want to believe it or not, we all have an enemy from within. Okay? We ourselves can be our own worst enemy. So to me, what I'm just trying to say right now in this day and time, the worst enemy that you can fight is the enemy from within. And you got to understand how. How can you stop making yourself the opposition? How can you stop and make sure, guess what? You're no longer your enemy. Know where that come from? Healing. Where that come from right now is meditating, prayer, understanding who you are, what you are, and what is your purpose. But to me, as I started, how do we, you know what I'm saying, how do right now you fight against your worst enemy when your worst enemy is yourself? A lot of times when you don't have true identity of yourself, guess what? You are your enemy. A lot of times when you stop yourself to grow, you are your enemy. Respect, Glaze. Still enjoying your vacation. You got to, man. You got to. What's up, Glaze? Miller Park, man. How you doing? Anger Management TV. Good evening, sir. UK. Cold London town. UK in the house, man. How you doing, Paul? How you doing? How you doing? But anyway, right now, let's get back to the topic. Who's your worst enemy? The worst enemy you can have is within. That's the worst enemy. Understanding right now is we are the person that hold ourselves back the most. We are the one that motivate or demotivate ourselves. We are the one that's got that nagging attitude and say, I can't do this, I can't do that, I can't do this. You know what? We are our worst enemy. And how do we eliminate that? How do we stop being our worst enemy? That's the question I want to ask. And you know what? It's not easy. But the difference is what we have to do is we have to recognize and understand that we can and we are our worst enemy and what we're going to do to fix that. So when you constantly keep fighting against yourself, come on, man. How the heck you fighting against yourself, man? That's what you're doing. You're fighting from within. You're fighting that negative. You're fighting that nonsense. You're fighting all that negative energy from within. And how do you overcome that? There's many, many ways that we can overcome that, but guess what? We too busy, forget about it. Act like it don't exist. Lose hair and age fast, man. Yeah, you lose age and you lose hair. You lose hair. You see, I don't have no hair, man. I don't have no hair. I'm glad I got a round head, man, because I don't have no hair. But the difference is right now, how do we fight? I'm saying the enemy within. That's your biggest opposition. If you don't love you, why the hell somebody else gonna love you? Why the hell somebody gonna love you when you don't even love yourself? When you don't even understand? I used to think I could save everyone until I stopped and realized some of them was drowning me. You're right. But sometimes right now, Janine, we drown ourselves. We drown ourselves in our self-pity. We drown ourselves, right now with everybody else's problem. But the difference is, how can we help anybody with their problem if we don't get to help our own problem first? You know what? You got to help number one first. You got to learn how to, rebuild, how to build yourself up, how to get yourself back on the right track. And all that starts from within. You got to dig deep. You got to go deep. You got to go deeper to the original surface. And you got to go back down there and find what is the root cause. Why I am the way that I am. What do I need to do to overcome the obstacle that I have in my life? What do I need to do to overcome the roadblock that I have in my life? Understand that I am my main big roadblock. Blaze, I'm a huge fan of yours, trying to save the youth through your experience. Thank you for what you do. Ricky Brown, how you doing? How you doing? How you doing? But the difference right now is, guess what, folks? It's a lot, man. And people try to ask me, like, how do I became who I became? How do I put my past behind me? Man, it was not easy. It was not easy. I think being alone is the upgrade. But the difference right now, when you're being alone and you taking the time to meditate and understand and reflect Not just reflect back, but you got to reflect back upon everything. You know, all the mental scars and anguish, all the trauma, all the, you know what I'm saying, negativity, all the nonsense, all the, you know what I'm saying, like BS you've been through. Rachel, what's up, Rachel? How you doing? How you doing, Rachel? But the difference right now is how. How do you fight the enemy within? You got to fight the enemy within heads on. You got to put your fists up. You got to put your fists up. And you got to fight the enemy within head on. And how are you going to do that? In order to fight the enemy within, guess what you're going to have to do? You're going to have to put both hands up. And you have to go deep. And you're going to have to grab yourself. You're going to have to grab yourself from within. Move. Pull it out. You have to fight against your own self. You know what I'm saying? You got the good and you got the bad. I don't like to think of fixing the problem and getting inside the unknown, which you've been either scared or been delaying. You're right, man. A lot of times we don't want to deal with reality. A lot of times we do not want to know ourselves. You know what I'm saying? A lot of times we don't. We do not want to know ourselves because we're afraid of the unknown. I believe seeking God is the first step. You're right, Janine. Seeking God is the first step. But even once you seek God, God helps those that help themselves. What are we doing to help ourselves? What are we doing each and every day to help ourselves? Are we doing what we need to do to help ourselves? Huh? Are we procrastinating? Some scared of the truth. That's right. Good evening, Mr. But hey, James Brown, what's up, man? Anger didn't fly. C-R-N-G, you give out. Repent, man. You gotta repent. You gotta repent. But the difference right now, you have to know exactly where you went wrong at. In order to get help, you have to know where you went wrong at. You have to know exactly what you need to do in order to get help. And a lot of times we run away from that, man. We run away from that. We thinking the grass is green on the other side, man. Folks, listen, the grass is not green on the other side. You can't go and take care of somebody else's yard. You can't go and take care of somebody else's house. You can't go and take care of somebody's state of mind until you take care of yourself. Hey, my man, Professor BBB, how you doing, man? The truth put fear in a lot of heart. Look what, you know what I'm saying, CRT and white folk, okay, cool. You got to come back with that. But that's the difference. How can you take care of anybody else if you don't take care of yourself, man? Cool Breeze, what's up, man? Jim B, how you doing? Jason Bond, how you doing? I write down things. I write down things I should do today, and the thing I'm not going to do is hard. Hey, but you have to do. Like the video. Thank you, thank you, thank you, my friend. Thank you, my friend. Folks, listen. But how do you fight the enemy from within? How do you capitalize and get yourself to understand right now we are our own worst enemy? How do we alleviate that? How do we eliminate that out of our life? How can we walk with God and not walk in change? You have to. You have to. Peace and blessing to you, King, and honor to God. How is vacation? So vacation is good so far. Vacation is good so far. Vacation is lovely so far. But the question I'm asking today, 25 people, 25 like, 27 people, 11 like. Hey, how do we fight, you know what I'm saying, the enemy within? Understanding that we are our own worst enemy. That's what we got to learn. And there's nothing wrong with that. I've been my worst enemy forever. Okay? When I was younger, I was my worst enemy. I used to sabotage anything that can go good for me. I used to sabotage it. I used to be in and out of the penal system, in and out of trouble. Self-hatred kill us. You're right. We separate ourselves from all negativity, exactly. But right now, I used to sabotage myself because right now I was my own worst enemy. But once I got a better understanding of who and what I am and what my purpose was, slowly but surely, it was not overnight. It was not overnight. Nothing come overnight. Only thing come fast is trouble. Easy to get into and hard to get out. Only thing come fast is trouble. Easy to get into and hard to get out. Stop wearing wigs and stop hating yourself. This guy look like, okay, I don't know who I look like. You know, hey, right now I done heard I look like a little bit of everybody, man. You know what? But guess what? It doesn't matter who I look like. What matters is the words that come out of my mouth. I can't understand my anger. You know what, man? You have to learn to understand your anger. You have to learn to control your anger. You have to learn and understand that you have to be in control of everything. Regardless. Like to me right now, look, I know right now I allow my emotions supersede my intellect each and every day. And I know I am my worst enemy. And I know right now when I get upset, I turn into, you know, the Incredible Hulk. I can be that mild-mannered Dr. David Bruce Banner. But as soon as I get upset and I see red, I see blood, and I black out, I turn into an Incredible Hulk. You know what? But I know that's the enemy within. So my objective is, how do I keep that enemy within down at the bottom? How do I bury that enemy within? Choosing first where you are. Choosing first where you're at. Do you drink alcohol, Blake? At time. But you know what? God can change the heart. You know what? Like I told you right now, God can change anything, but the difference is right now you have to want to change. You have to want to change. You have to understand right now. Khalid Muhammad is a pro-black legend. All right, Muhammad. Like I told you right now, you have to want to change. You have to understand their need to change. You have to know that. You have to know right now, listen, man, what I'm going through. I'm sick of tired of being sick of tired of going through these unnecessary trials and tribulations. So what do I need to do? How do I stop hating myself? How do I stop being my own worst enemy? You know how do you do that? By getting out a pad, getting out a pencil. And you know what? Write everything that you like about yourself. Boom. Then on the opposite page, write everything that you dislike about yourself. And right now, you take that page, everything that you like and love about yourself, and everything that you hate or dislike about yourself, and you do the comparison. And what you have to do is eliminate. You have to take that marker and eliminate all that stuff that you dislike about yourself and work on eliminating it out of your life. You have to, each and every day. That's the only way you're going to make it. You have to hold yourself accountable. We know ourselves better than anybody else. We all have twins. We all have twins. That enemy within is our twin. But how do we eliminate that, them saying, evil twin? Or we get that evil twin to become clean, to become honest, to become righteous. How do we do that? It's a battle. It's a battle from within. And that's the question I ask. How do you fight the enemy within? You got to fight them with love. You got to fight them with human compassion. You got to fight them with honesty. In order to be honest with anybody else, you got to first attempt to be honest with yourself. You got to look yourself in the mirror. Take off the glasses. Go into the mirror. Look yourself in the eyes. Look yourself in the eyes. People, a lot of times people, if you're having a conversation with folks, a lot of folks don't like you looking in your eyes. Why is that? Why? To me, eyes don't lie. You can look in a person's eye and you can see everything that you need to see if you know what the heck you're looking at. And the difference is right now, you go to that mirror after you get off the line. Wow. Hello, 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 hello. I'm back. If you go to that mirror and you look yourself in that eye, and what you're going to see? You're going to see the truth. You're going to see the truth. A lot of us don't want to deal with the truth. A lot of us can't, handle the truth. We don't look at ourselves right now. We always want to look at ourselves as good people. And you know what? For the most part, you are good. But then guess what? We all got skeleton buried in our closet. We do. But the difference is right now, you know your secret. You know your secret deeper than anybody else. Nobody know all your dark secret, but you know it. And what you got to do is learn how to stop running from the truth. And the only way you're going to stop learning to run away from the truth, you got to come clean. Put everything on the table. Put everything on the table. Put everything on the table. Hey, listen, y'all. Thank y'all for joining me. Like I said right now, Wiz, I might come back on later. Thank y'all for joining me. Peace, love, and prosperity. Hit that like button. Hit the subscribe. One love. One love. You're lucky just to have just one love.